What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. Today I'm gonna be doing, as the title says, a reaction to Kevin Samuels' video. It just says "Just Wow IG Live." Um, about 2 weeks ago, I kind of found out who Kevin Samuels was through, all the people on social media trying to get him banned, and which only just brought him more popularity because that's how I found out about him. So if you're not familiar with him, I just want to go ahead and get right into the video just so that you can kind of figure out like where the controversy comes from when it comes to him. But we're just gonna go ahead and get right into this video. Oh, my bad.
Hi, Mr. Samuel.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, it's my second time on your show, and I'm so excited.
Oh, she loves him.
I tell you all the time that the young folks need to be talking to you.
Okay, how old? What's your first name? How old are you?
My name is Zoella, and I'm 25.
All right, what do you got for me? We're talking about being capped tonight.
When she said the young folks, I thought
so listen. A lot of people come on your show and they really try to tell you that you're wrong. Now, I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I think that just as far as being capped, I feel like it's not honesty both ways.
Like what? Wait a minute. It goes what?
Both ways.
Okay, we only want to talk about the way it goes with the women.
Okay, well, fine.
Because we have 50 years to talk about the way it goes with the men. Won't hear nothing about that.
True. Men always get this way. That's true.
So I feel like with us, a lot of the times, like maybe we cap about like what we want. Like you know how you ask all the women what they want, and then you hit them with the 3 little questions, and they say,
"That's not the cap. That's not. I don't mean like you're capping. I'm saying you're capped, meaning you have an upper limit of what you can get."
Tired of spending all your money on design?
That's interesting. What you can get.
Yes, I agree. So take me for instance. So I'm 25 years old, but I'm in a career that I'm the youngest person in my career. So I'm a therapist, and a lot of the people in my career are older than me, right? Okay. And so a lot of the men that I attract are older than me.
That's good.
Because, you talked about how the young men don't have respect for older men, so there's a learning gap. And then there's older men who are attracted to me because I'm 25 with no children, with a career, living on my own. But because I didn't grow up with a man in the house necessarily.
What do you think? Okay. Your cap would be what? Regarding relationships.
I would say my cap would have to be the
sexual marketplace value.
I would say
that is your cap.
Like the cap, I would probably do 39.
No. The kind of man you can get, the cap, the top, the limit.
I think
listen.
He's talking about age.
I'm listening to you. Don't do me like that. I'm listening. I'm just a little.
Don't tell me what to do.
No, I'm just asking.
Just let me do what I do. I let you talk, and the reason I stepped in is because you're not on subject. You're just talking. The cap meaning, what is the top kind of man you can qualify for, and what is the bottom man you qualify for, and what's the average? That's the cap.
Or like what I think.
Well, it's not about what you think. Everybody has a cap, and a woman's cap is her sexual marketplace value. This is why you can be a woman with a high school diploma and marry a millionaire if you have a high enough SMV. And you can be a woman with a PhD and can't get a husband.
Yeah.
Because you're unattractive.
That's real.
That's an SMV. So what would your cap be?
I think 47.
Who's that? Who just came in that car?
My boss.
Hey.
Say hi.
How you doing? I don't think you're understanding the topic, so it's not about an age. It's about what kind of man. So you said you're a professional, you're a therapist. You have a bachelor's, master's, what?
A bachelor's, and I'm going for my master's right now.
And how much do you anticipate making midway through your career? By the time you're 45 years old, about how much do you think you'll be making annually?
So right now, I make about 79, almost 80.
So midway through your career, about 45, what do you think you'll be making?
Probably over $1 million.
Annually?
Yeah. Because what I'm trying to do with mental health in our community, I think people are going to accept it more than they do. And I'm figuring everything that I'm trying to do on the side.
How many people or therapists make $1 million annually?
Well, aside from what I make right now, just at a job, plus what I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to work my job forever. So if I make almost...
Okay, you can't even have the conversation. I just asked you, every question I've asked you, you just talked. I said, midway through your career, what do you think you're going to make annually? You're honestly saying, I expect you to be a millionaire as a therapist.
I'm serious.
Okay, good. Which fairy tales do come true, but that's not ma'am. I talk to therapists. I network with therapists. I work with psychiatrists, psychologists, PhDs from Ivy League, and they ain't making that kind of money.
And I ask you a question.
I need you to listen. I need you to listen. Okay, there she goes. You're not going over. You're already on cue.
Oh wait, I'm not trying to be rude.
But what I need you to understand is you can't even. I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I'm talking about what I'm talking about, my subject, and I can't even get you to understand what you plan on making about halfway through. But let's just say you're making $1 million. Let's just go ahead and say it. You're making $1 million. Then how much do you want to get married one day? Mm-hmm. You want children?
Yes, I do.
How many children would you like to have?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. And do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with your first child after marriage?
I probably will have to.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with your first child when you're married?
Yes.
Okay. What percentage of the family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime with 4 children, you and a husband? What percentage overall for a lifetime?
20 to 30.
20 to 30%. So you still are looking for a provider male, a man making enough to pay 70 to 80% of the bills, meaning if you stop working for any reason, the family would not be significantly impacted. How much money would a man need to make to provide for a family of 4 children, a wife, and himself to not have her income impact the family in any long-term way? How much money would he need to make annually?
Probably 80 to 100,000.
But she says she okay, but she's making $1 million annually, and she's gonna have kids, and her husband, say for instance, if she's not working, her husband's gonna have to be able to, hypothetically pay the bills. So wouldn't he have to make $1 million?
What state do you live in?
Texas.
$80,000 for 6 people.
Learn Spanish with Real Spanish TV.
Not gonna copyright me.
I grew up in the country, so it doesn't really...
See what I mean? They don't know their caps, folks. See, this is a woman that says she thinks her plan is to make $1 million. But I got down to the real numbers of it. She thinks a man with $80,000 will be able to provide a middle-class lifestyle.
Why wouldn't he, though? You said middle class.
Math. Because the average black man in this country makes $41,500.
With
the average, I need you to, okay, obviously you don't know.
Wait, why?
So I need you to, because as a therapist, as an educated woman, and you want these things, y'all should know this stuff. But you should know that it's impossible to have a man making $80,000 and then you not have to work. 4 children, you guys will be lit.
Right, to live comfortably, not to just live.
The average child takes about $250,000 from age 0 to 18. 3 children. And for you not to have to work to pay significant bills in Texas, you're talking about a man making about $300,000 to $350,000 a year. 4 children at another $100,000. You're talking about a man making close to $400,000, almost half a mil. Not 80.
Right.
$80,000. $80,000 will not pay for 4 children, college fund, retirement, 401k, medical insurance.
To do it the right way. To do it the right way, let your kids go to, like, live in a nice area, not need for anything, not be hungry, everything, that necessities that they would need, and no kind of struggling. That's the number that he's saying in that area in Texas.
About to raise a child or for them to go past? Because
I'm going to have a conversation with the audience. Okay, see, this is why women don't understand their caps. They don't understand their caps because they don't even understand how much money a man needs to make. They don't even understand what they're asking about. So it's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. It's all fantasy for women at this point. Because I can't have the conversation with you, man, because I'm talking at a different level of understanding. I'm talking about calculus. You're talking about arithmetic.
I'm not. I'm just asking you to.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
I'm going ahead and have the presentation. All right.
Wait.
See, I couldn't even get to where I need to get to with her. And at the end of the day, like it or not, I can still do this. That woman still wants a man to pay 70 to 80% of the bills. That's still a provider male. That means if you have a 4-leg table, 1, 2, 3, a table can stand with 3 legs. Black women in particular, don't want their money to impact the family in any kind of way. That means as a husband, you were going to have to pay the lion's share of the bills for a lifetime. That is still a man in the top 80%, even at $80,000, even at $80,000, which is a ridiculously low number. Only 15% of black men earn that amount of money. And the ultimate question is, if 100% of women want men in this area, can you get one? And the answer is no.
So there is where Kevin explains his entire narrative. That is where he explains his entire narrative. We're talking about black men. We're talking about successful black men that make money. Everybody now on social media is, oh, my man got to buy me a Birkin. Oh, my man got to take me to Dubai. My man got to do this. My man got to do that. And he's saying, of all the men that make money, there's this much of the pie. This is the whole pie. This is the whole pie. There's this much of the pie of black men making a certain amount of money for black women. So, you know what I'm saying? And they've already said it before that there's more women than men. So, how can you get one of these very successful, financially stable men? Like he just said, can you get one? I'm going to play that back so you guys can hear what he said again. Because I think that's vital, because I think that people think that Kevin just kind of talks wild, and I don't think he does. He seems like a very articulate person. So this explains, his whole narrative and who he's talking to. He's not going to talk to everyone and be like, oh, you can't get a man because you're this. I feel like he's just only talking about men that have money. You know what I'm saying? Black men that have money. And 2, I feel like maybe he's so frustrated and impatient because, like, I feel like there is a state of emergency right now, for sure. Like, I feel like there's a state of emergency when it comes to black families. And also when it comes to, this independent woman concept. Because a lot of people are alone. A lot of women are alone. They have money. They're successful. They have businesses. They're beautiful. But they're alone. Why? Mr. Kevin gonna tell us. Oh, I think that's a little too far. Let's go here. Okay.
80% of the bills. That's still a provider male. That means if you have a 4-leg table, 1, 2, 3, a table can stand with 3 legs. Black women in particular, don't want their money to impact the family in any kind of way. That means as a husband, you were going to have to pay the lion's share of the bills for a lifetime. That is still a man in the top 80%, even at $80,000, even at $80,000, which is a ridiculously low number, only 15% of Black men earn that amount of money. And the ultimate question is,
no copyright, no thank you.
100% of women want men in this area. Can you get one? And the answer is no. That's what it comes down to, because your SMV, height, weight, dress size, what do you look like? Fresh face out of the shower, no makeup, your natural hair is average. You can get a man making about $40,000. $41,500 is what you get as an average woman, no matter how you slice it. So this is what I want you guys to understand. That conversation is the problem, because so many women today are in another world when it comes. It is all theory and wishes. I can make $1 million as an effing therapist.
But I also feel like some things are taken out of context, because he's obviously not talking about every single situation. He's not talking about every single man, because you do have some exceptions, where the man and the woman are kind of making the same amount of money, and they're both successful. So I definitely don't think it's a one size fits all, but that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. We're talking about the women who
London
don't
Esquire.
have a man that's making that money.
I need you guys to understand. This woman said, I think I'll be making $1 million because of the businesses I want to. So now you Dr. Phil.
I can't do it.
This is why so many women are lost today, because they've never had to sit down and understand how much money is because they go to school, they can run up all this student loan debt. But see, most women are living, just running up bills today, and they think somebody's going to come pay it later on. I'll get married and he'll take care of it. Ladies, that ain't going to work. It's like that woman I talked to yesterday, who got $100,000 in student loan debt and over $150,000 in consumer debt. And she got an English degree and a math teacher in her mid-30s. Y'all got a reality coming. The reality is, you're going to work. Most women, 72% of mothers in this country work full or part-time. Unless you're a bona fide 8, 9, or 10, according to what we as men think, not what you think, according to what we as men think, you can expect to work the rest of your life, married with children. And that pisses a lot of women off, because it's like, well, then why do I need to get married? Because you can't afford to do it by yourself. Unbelievable. She'll be gone. Bill Gates personal. Thank you. That's a PhD. Thank you. I just got a message from a PhD, Ivy League educated psychiatrist. And she's laughing at that conversation. She's like, what, in the French toast? Yes. I don't just talk. I back things up with knowledge, people I know. And I know professionals who are highly degreed, great grades, impeccable credentials, not making $1 million effing dollars. You have no idea. Oh, I wish I could bring some of these people on, but I want to protect their privacy. So many of you ladies, because so many women are overrepresented in healthcare, women think being in healthcare means you're going to make a lot of money. Wrong. It's what's pitched to you. It's what's sold to you. That's why so many women get to become nurses or therapists or counselors, and you're chronically single because you have to work crazy hours. You have to give your life to the practice, and you're not making any money because of insurance, because of the way things are built, because of your patient load, and this and that. You don't want a hot box with the Godfather on this topic. I know too much. Let's get it. You're capped. You're capped at your sexual marketplace value. That's where you're capped, ladies. That's where ladies are capped. Hello?
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Have you been on here before?
I have.
Okay.
Hey, girl.
What do we got?
Okay, so my question is, because you keep referring to the average woman, I wanted to get your take on what the average woman is to you. Like financially, education wise, job wise, all of that. What's an average?
What is an average? What is an average? What is an average woman? What do you mean? What it is to me? An average woman is an average looking woman. I think I've been pretty clear. But I'll explain again. I'll use you as an example. You're 24. Any children?
No.
How tall are you?
5 foot.
5 foot. Dress size?
I wear a 5.
A dress size 5?
Mhm.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
I weigh 145 pounds.
Okay. What is the average height for an American female?
Right now, I think it's 5'4".
It's always been 5'4". 5'4" for the last 100 plus years. What is the average weight for an American female at 5'4"?
I don't know.
What's the average healthy weight?
I guess maybe my weight. I don't know, but I don't know.
See, that's the problem. See, these things have been told to you. You go to a doctor, they tell you the healthy weight. Are you a healthy weight?
125, 130, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5'4", I think if you're like 5'4", maybe 115, 120. I just know that I remember kind of like the BMI and stuff like that, because it's always like something way lower than most people actually weigh. So that's how I remember.
5 foot. Okay. Hold on. See, hold on. Let's just do this. Okay. 5'4". 5 foot. 5 feet. You said you're 145 pounds?
Yes, I work out.
Uh-huh. I'm going to just go ahead.
Okay.
That's good. Your BMI is 29.3. According to BMI, overweight is 25 to 29.9. You are 0.6% away from obesity.
Kevin, do I look obese to you?
I don't see. Audience, I want you guys to understand. She asked me what is average. And this is the problem. Women today think they can put what they effing feel in place of facts. You are short, 4 inches shorter, and you are 25 pounds heavier than a healthy weight.
So 5 foot is 100 pounds.
At your height, you should be roughly about 105 pounds.
Right. Yeah, I know that's what they would say.
According to the BMI, you are overweight. I don't care how it looks. I don't care if the fat fell where we like it. So that's one.
The thing is, people get upset about weight. People get so upset about weight. But it's just, I think it's just natural. Like, okay, if you're 20, I'm not going to use her as an example. She's beautiful, by the way. But I'm not going to use her as an example because I don't see what she looks like physically, you know? But some people, right, they'll be like 5 foot and they'll be like 130 pounds or whatever. And they look a little thick. You know, they might have like a little arm fat, like a little belly fat, little, you know, hip, butt, this, that. But I think it's just like, one, you have to take your health into account of like when you're small and stuff like that, like, excuse me, your heart pumping, your lungs, like how much work it's causing your body to function. And the older you get, the more weight that you naturally put on. So if you're already like 20 years old and you're 130 pounds, what about when you're 25? What about when you're 30? What about when you're 35? What about when you're 40? Like, that's why the BMI structure is there, to keep people in a healthy weight for their size, for their organs to function. You know what I'm saying? For that room and that space to grow in. You know what I mean? Like, because if you have a baby, if you 5 foot and you weigh 150 pounds and you get pregnant, you 200 pounds. You 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand what he's saying, and people find it uncomfortable. They might even find it disrespectful, but I don't, because he's really speaking like through statistics. You know what I'm saying? And I think that makes sense. Sometimes there's people who, like, you know what I'm saying, they have like a certain weight on them, and you can see it like in their face. Like even me, I have a little bit extra weight in my face right now. And I just feel like, there's a big difference. Like, if somebody were to lose like 10, 15 pounds, you see, like, oh, wow, like that weight really fits you. Even though you look cute or you look nice here, that weight you can tell is how you're supposed to be. You know? My
So
opinion.
automatically in our
Automatically,
community, 80% of the women are overweight. That means what? Above average or below average? If you're overweight, are you above average or below average?
Below the average. The average.
I'll be below average.
Right. So if 80% of our women are below average because of their weight, then we go to their looks.
Food.
What would you give yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? Fresh face, out of the shower, your natural hair. You cannot use 7.
I don't know. Maybe on a regular day, I'd say maybe a 6.
Okay. I will give you a 6. And a 6 is cute. A 5 is
Can't go wrong
average.
with cute, though.
So, if you're a cute woman, that's one step above average. Okay, average means average. Look in your family history, and most people are average, right at the top of the bell curve. But if you take a cute woman who's overweight, that adjusts her S&V up or down.
Down.
Thank you. So that makes her average. As those two numbers, they kind of average out. You would be an average woman. And as an average woman in this country, an average black woman, the average black man in this country earns $41,500 for a lifetime. No more, no less. No Herculean methods, no lottery, no businesses. That's what he's going to make. That's your husband.
But what if I have degrees?
Thank you. See? I want you guys to understand. Degrees? She just asked me.
But what if I have degrees?
What is a woman has her SMV?
Like, no.
Now, these women actually think because they can make themselves higher SMV because of a degree. That does not work. Men have never picked women based upon your degree.
They don't know about that.
That is why you could be on fries at McDonald's, but if you look like Kelly Rowland, you can marry a millionaire.
Kelly's beautiful.
But you could graduate from Harvard, but if you look like Precious, you ain't got nothing coming. Why do you think a degree should matter to your sexual marketplace value?
Guys have been working all day.
I think you should add, just because, if you're going based off just appearances, then
I'm going based upon who men are. When have men ever said, look at that average looking woman, but goddamn, I bet you she got a degree.
You play too much.
That ain't who we. No, ma'am. No.
You play too much.
You got to ask the customer, the men.
You got a degree.
And that just shows that you ladies don't understand what we are. That is who we are. We don't care about your degree until we care about how you look in your body. That's when it matters, after your SMV. So that's the question. Why worry about your degree? Why not bump your S&V up if you want a higher caliber husband?
Right.
Uh-oh. So every other group of women does. They understand what the men want and they give the men what they want.
So when you
lose weight.
I'm sorry?
Dress size 4.
Or lose weight. But that's true. I feel like, look at her for an example. I feel like people in like, especially like, I feel like Caribbean people, I feel like they know, like, they be knowing like the things to do. And even in like, those upper scale neighborhoods, they're very like on it. They be at the gym working out
I
every
can see the
day,
dress
eating
size for it.
salad.
No, dress size 4, 110, 105
Do the work.
pounds. Dress size 4, 105, 110 pounds. Dress size 4. Because you got to have some room to grow. Because at 5 foot, you have 1, 2 kids. That's going to every child 30 to 50 pounds. You have 3 kids. Your husband can expect a woman coming in close to 200 pounds after 3 kids. You got to have some room to grow. You're 150 pounds already. Pregnancy weight is 30 to 50 pounds.
Right.
You got pregnant with 1 kid, you'll go up to 180 on the low end, 200 as the norm.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose all that weight. Have another kid, another 30 to 50. Another kid, another 30 to 50. Even if you average it out, you're going to gain another 30 pounds in childbirth. That means you go from 150 to 180.
See?
5 foot, 180 is almost 200 pounds. That is a large woman. But that is what you see wobbling around the Black community all the time. Below average SMV women. And do you see many wedding rings on those? Nope. And then you wonder why you see Becky and Mylene running and eating, drinking water and eating salads. But what you see on their finger.
That's a fact. That's a fact. A wedding ring.
So you think even.
What you see on their finger.
A ring, I get that.
Yeah, but we need to say it because it makes it real.
So even with today's culture, with people desiring and paying for more curvaceous curves, boob jobs, butt lifts, everything, you still think that men are desiring skinnier women?
I think it's
have you been? How long have you watched my channel?
It's all relative.
For some time.
Some people like,
and every time you see those ridiculously curvy women, they're unmarried.
Some are.
No, they're not. They're mostly unmarried. I've already addressed this conversation. I addressed this on the Joe Budden podcast. I addressed this on Vlad TV, and I addressed this on Adam No Jumper. Mm-hmm. That's for fun. Men don't marry that. So, how about this? You notice how every time I said what men are, instead of just saying, I'll go do that. And so why not? Why don't you accept this? Men aren't asking women to go get Brazilian butt lifts. We ain't asking for y'all to wear weave. We're not asking for y'all to have long acrylic nails and all these flippy eyelashes. Y'all do that for each other. We don't like that. We want them on good times. We want Pam Grier. That's what we want. But that ain't what you're giving men. Y'all don't. And what's proven, you don't really care what men want, and that's why you're not getting what men. You're not getting husbands. You're getting sex. And some of y'all get babies.
Tough reality.
But do you get the question? Do you understand what an average woman is?
Yeah, you've answered my question to the T.
So if that's the case, and an average woman, and average people should get average people, above average people, or high level.
Average people should get average people.
Average people get average people.
Assortative mating. So why is it that most average women don't want average men?
Because it's a natural thing for people to want what they can't have. It's not natural.
It's not natural. It's not natural.
It's a natural desire.
No, it's not. It's not. No, man.
A lot of people want what they can't have.
It is not natural.
A lot of people want what they
Every
can't
other race of woman on here is black. White women are the next lowest group of married women. They're married at a 54 rate. And you look at an average looking white woman, you're like, ooh, even the women who are unattractive, you're like, ooh. But you look on her finger, you're like, she's married. You're like, who would marry her? You look at her husband, and they look like they match. Because they accept. But in our community, women want the men to look better than them. It's not natural. Black women are living an unnatural existence. You're living opposite to nature. You're living opposite to even the God you say you believe in creation.
Harsh reality. I think it's a harsh reality. You're not talking about the women who've been married, the women who, you know what I'm saying? He's talking about the single women who is, like I said, on social media. They see people at Birkin with trips, with this, with that. They want that. There's a small area of black men who have the money and the wealth to be able to facilitate that kind of lifestyle. But there's a man who works at, you know, waste management, is not making that kind of money, but he's making a good amount of money, could support you to live, a certain life, and they don't want him. They don't want him.
The devil is